CDs, certificate of deposit, CDs. Ultra conservative, truthfully, they're usually for old people. I mean they're usually, and the reason being is because they have absolutely no risk associated to them. Now, if it's something that you plan on a goal that's very specific, I know 3 years from now I want this money back to buy a house, and you have money that you can put in a CD and allow it to accumulate interest and grow over 3 years and then cash it in and use it. The problem with, and it goes back to, and again, this is just a personal opinion, don't do anything that you can't unravel. See, every investment, I tell my clients this, every single investment has both a positive and a negative. There's no such thing as just the absolute best investment. It would be called the way, and we would all do it. There's just not one. So CDs, usually, you put your money in here, and they're good for like 1 year. If you try to take your money out at any point inside that 1 year period, there's some, you usually have to forfeit your interest or something like that. So everything that you did over that first 6 months, you said, I left it in there for 6 months, but then all of a sudden I needed it, so I took it out. That interest that you've accumulated over 6 months goes away. The other thing is if you do leave it in there 1 full year, let's say you put $5,000 in there, and CD rates are paying like next to nothing as part of the economy falling apart. That's one of the things that caused it to be, they were paying too high rates in the first place, and banks got bit on it, and now they're paying too low to make up for all those years of paying too much. But if you put in $5,000, and let's say it paid you, 2% would be really high, but and you get to the end, your 2% that's accumulated, which is what, $200. Your $200 that's accumulated over the course of that year, you must now pay, and I told you this would be the biggest eye-opener that you had. You must now pay taxes on the $200 that accumulated. So you put in $5,000, you cashed out $5,200, you must pay taxes on the $200 that you made. This is called, it's not income tax like a paycheck, it's called capital gains. You will get a 1099 from the bank in the mail that tells you you owe taxes on this money. This capital gains that you have to pay here, the capital gains rate is 15% of the growth, which means you pay $30 in taxes, so your $200 interest is now $170. So, and my personal opinion on CD is for young people, what if you needed it? And at the end, it's just going to generate some taxes that you probably don't need to pay anyway. So there are other ways of going about. I usually use municipal bonds. The reason I use municipal bonds is because they're tax exempt. They work pretty much the exact same way, but the interest that's accumulated, this $200, is tax-free rather than taxable. So I mean, it's not that they're bad. If it's for something very specific. The other thing that's good about them, I mean, there's no risk. Your $5,000 that was in there is always going to be your $5,000 at a minimum. It's just that a lot of times I've found that people don't get any added benefit from it because you end up using it before you really need it.